YouTube, what is up, guys? So I'm doing a Q&A. I haven't done one of these in a while. I definitely haven't done one where I'm just by myself. I'm usually on the rocks with Brian Ames or something. But I'm going to go through some questions. I asked you guys on my Facebook to ask me questions, and I'm going to go through them right here, right now. So there was a bunch of comments, but let's get right to it. Okay, I'm going to start scrolling and pick one. Jonathan Barboza says, if you were trapped on an island alone and you could bring 3 things, what would you bring? Keep in mind you are alone and I couldn't get a rescue for 3 years. Okay, so oddly enough, I've actually answered this to myself before. I've thought about this, and I would say my skateboard, ton of Quickcrete, okay, because I would be ambitious. I would build my own skate park, and then a Chipotle store, because it could provide me with a lot of Mexican food. Because most people think about like one burrito or like a spear for fishing. Like, no, I mean, this is in my imagination. I'm gonna bring a whole store. Darlene Stiles says, would you ever come to Orlando in Florida just to skate instead of doing a vacation? And yes, actually, we're doing a forced East Coast tour where we're going to end in Florida. I don't know if it's Orlando. I know we're going to end in Orlando, but I know we're going to skate in one city in Florida, and I'm not sure which one yet. But so that's totally happening. Darian Smith says, who's your favorite Star Wars character? And also list the original trilogy from your least favorite to your favorite. One, the first part is easy, Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's the best person in Star Wars. And then the list is kind of tough, because first off, I guess worst, I don't know. I know what my favorite is, but then like I kind of go back and forth between the other two. If I had to pick, I'd probably go Empire Strikes Back as my favorite, then A New Hope, then Return of the Jedi. Ben Johnson says, if you were offered a team like Baker, for example, to ride for them professionally, would you quit Revive business and focus on skating only, or not take the offer and focus on Revive? I would hands down, no matter what company came at me, I would not take any offer. One, I don't like to do anything based on money, so if that was ever a situation, I wouldn't bother with it. And as much as I like the Baker dudes, and actually I've heard they're super nice guys, I'm not really interested in the stress that comes behind the professional skateboarding world. It's funny because a lot of people think that I turned myself pro with all the survival. I'm not pro at all. And then, but the stress to perform and outdo yourself of being pro, mixed with everything else that I have going on in my life, it'd be really tough. Granted, you said if I would focus on skating only, that might be a little different, but I love what I do. I purely love it, and I like that Revive is like a family. A lot of people flip out about who's the best and not talented or talented, and we don't. We literally are just like a group of dudes having fun, so that's what I love most about Revive. Jamie Turner says, how are you and the family? We are good, although I'm sick right now, but we're good. We're good, thank you. Caleb Wooden says, if you had to do one trick down El Toro, what would it be? And I would say 3 flip. It wouldn't happen. But I mean, I'm trying it down El Toro, so at least I'd have the motivation that I should probably stick this, or I'm gonna get severely hurt. But I've always thought that'd be really cool, because no one's done it yet, and I love 3 flips. That being said, 99% sure that will never happen by me. Aaron Foxton says, do you like working with Brian Ames? And yes, I absolutely love working with Brian Ames. I definitely wouldn't want to do this like how I do it with anyone else. Not to say some of my friends couldn't, but just Brian Ames is a really good counterpart to me. He was my first choice. When Revenge at the time started getting bigger and I saw potential, he was the first person I went to and I said, look, I want someone to run this with me. And he said yes, and it's been history ever since. Brian Ames rules. Aaron Taylor says, do you believe the ducks are just pond chickens? Now that you say that, I'm going to try to think of them like that, because I like that. I like that a lot. Freaking pond chicken. Ha! Devin Martinez says crunchy or creamy peanut butter, and crunchy. Totally crunchy. Matty Quested says, if you had to eat the same thing for the rest of your life, what would that food be and why? And it would totally be potatoes, okay? You can do baked potatoes, mashed potatoes, french fries, hash browns, you got some options, okay? So totally potatoes. Tom Addo says, have you ever tried to change your style from looking like a cowboy? And no, I'm really big on just being who you are, and it just so happens I'm bow-legged, that's just how my legs work. I feel like faking it, I don't know, I'm just not a fan of faking something like that, so no. If that bothers you, I'm sorry, but if it doesn't, there you go. Thank you for accepting my cowboyness. Michael Johnson says, what if Ryden gets better than you at skating and becomes pro when he grows up? I'll be super happy for him and be proud of him. That's awesome. I want Ryden to succeed in whatever he feels passionate about. If he was successful in whatever it was he chose, one happy dad right here. Aw, isn't that cute? Molly Smith says, ever consider adding female skaters to the team? And kind of like what I just said, Revive is definitely like a family. And so if there was ever a girl who fit that and felt like one of us, and we were all psyched on her, and she skated, sure. Skin color and gender has nothing to do with who is on any team. At least teams that I run. Radu Seagal says, did you ever done a backflip? And I've done one on a trampoline, that's it. I'm sorry. I need to be better at life, don't I? Harley Rivera says, have you ever felt lost, like you didn't know what you wanted to do in life? And absolutely. I've always had a lot of passions, but I never knew which one of those passions were really going to take off and get me somewhere. And it's funny because it wasn't until I started doing this YouTube stuff that I was like, why don't I just be me and put all my passions out there? And that's when something took off. So the point is, yes, I absolutely was confused on what I was going to do with my life. It wasn't until I was about 25, I think, that I started doing what I'm doing now. Don't panic. I mean, it's super normal to be confused and lost and just not knowing what you're going to do with your life. Do what you feel is right. You know, do what you want to do. That's the important part. Figure a way to make that your everyday. Blake Ehlers says, if you had to choose an orange or banana to eat right now, what would you choose? Orange. Clearly, that's no contest. Doran Terrell says, do you remember what your dream job was as a kid? And if so, what was it? And do you regret that you didn't follow that job? For the main part of my childhood, I think I wanted to design roller coasters. And I do not regret not following through with that because that sounds super stressful and that is a lot of responsibility on your hands. I do like roller coasters, though. I love them. Ridge Wilson Nar says, what is your favorite AFI song? And I'll have to go with Days of the Phoenix. But Death of Seasons is really, really good. There's so many of them. My gosh. Briga Kewen, I'm sorry if I murdered your name. Bigfoot or Loch Ness, and why? And I would say Loch Ness because there's just something more mysterious, like a big giant dinosaur type sea creature. Also, I feel like if Bigfoot actually existed, we would have seen him a million times by now. Like the Loch Ness could potentially live and just live underwater for all of time and we would never know. So I like the possibility of the Loch Ness too. Tristan Rieger says, if pizzas are round, why do they come in square boxes? And that is super easy to fit your dipping sauces in the corners. Duh. Chris Lugo says, when will the Revive video be released? And it's going to come out probably Black Friday of this year. This year, it's going down. Okay, that's it for my Facebook. I actually accidentally posted this on my personal Facebook too, so I was going to answer some of those because a lot of my friends asked questions and I wasn't going to go disappointing them by not picking any of them. Emily Mitchell, if you were in a hostage situation, would you want the Office cast with you or It's Always Sunny? And please explain why. Easily The Office. There's actually some people with brains in The Office. Always Sunny are all lunatics, and I love watching them. Oscar from The Office could mentally think some things through, you know? Jim could as well. Amanda Marie says, why are you holding question and answer session when you should be writing? And I should be. I know. I'm sorry. I promise you I'll be writing this book, Amanda. DJ Arnold says, Shaka Badao, and that is an inside joke from 9th grade that no one else will get. Aw, my wife says, when are you coming home? I miss you. And you actually know this. I'm coming home tomorrow morning. I miss you too, babe. You're just being cute on the internet. You knew that. All right, last question. Corey Goins says, if you had to choose between your ability to skateboard or Star Wars being completely erased from existence, including every Star Wars item you own, which would you choose? And that is so hard. And as much as I hate to say it, I would probably choose, I don't know. You know, I was about to say Star Wars because, like, I enjoy skateboarding for me. But then if I race Star Wars, it would be affecting so many lives. Wow. So greedy answer, I'll say Star Wars. Nice to the whole world, I would say my ability to skateboard. That was one of the hardest questions I've ever been asked. That was a good one, Corey. But that is it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I will do these every once in a while, so if you want to follow my Facebook, the link will be right down there, and I'll ask you guys to ask questions, and then I'll do what I did just now. So, but I hope you guys dug it. I do daily videos, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more from me, and that's it. I'm done. I'm going to go eat the rest of that banana because I took one bite. Yeah, I just took one bite. And now that I think about it, I don't even know where it is. And that's weird because this is just a small hotel room. Why are you guys in the freaking microwave? Jeez. It's been a while since I put YouTube in an appliance.